Hi everyone, it's Mr. Atkinson here. As you can see, in a very quiet, empty classroom. Lovely and peaceful. Right, you've got a 2-for-1 deal today. You're going to have 2 chapters of the London Eye Mystery, mainly because they're both pretty short. Okay, so we're up to chapter 23, Catastrophe. The shriek had come from the kitchen. Cat gasped and gripped my arm hard. Then she ran from the room and pounded downstairs. I followed her as fast as I could. I wondered whether somebody had been murdered. It sounded like the kind of scream you get in old-fashioned TV detective stories, when the maid goes in with a tray and finds a dead body and drops the tray and makes an ear-piercing noise. An image of Aunt Gloria finding Celine dead in the cellar went through my head, and a bad feeling went up my esophagus. Kat stopped in the kitchen doorway. I peered over her shoulder to see what was happening beyond. Mum, Aunt Gloria and Rashid were standing at the table, staring at Aunt Gloria's mobile phone. "What's happened?" Kat said. Nobody replied. It was as if we'd come upon a game of statues. Kat walked over to the table and reached over to pick up the mobile. "Don't touch it," Aunt Gloria whispered. Kat's hand paused. "Why not?" Mum pushed Kat's hand away. "Just stay out of this, Kat. Can't you see Glor's upset?" Rashid's hand went palm up, palm outwards. Come, let's sit down. Calm down," he said. "Let's get to the bottom of this." Everybody obeyed except me. There were only 4 chairs. I stood by Mum's shoulder. "Gloria," Rashid soothed. He took her hand and stroked it like he would a cat. "Tell us what happened." Aunt Gloria swallowed. "I've been carrying my mobile with me everywhere, never losing sight of it. It's been by my pillow, in my pocket, in my hand, all the time, just in case Salim should call. Then, just now, oh!" She wiped a tear from her cheek. "For 2 minutes I put it here, on the table, while I went into the living room to call the airline, from the landline. I had to call the airline, you see, because by rights..." She shook her head and her lips squashed up together. "By rights, today, we should have been flying across the Atlantic, Salim and I. And I rang them to explain why we won't make the flight, and the lady on the phone was very kind." Her lips went one way, her nose another, and her eyes disappeared altogether. She was crying. I couldn't see why someone being kind should make Aunt Gloria cry, but it did. "She said she'd hold our reservations, that's if Salim is found. They'll put us on the first available flight to New York." So I said, "Thank you," and I hung up. I put the phone back and I came here, and it was ringing. The mobile, it was on the table, ringing and ringing. And nobody was here, nobody to hear it. I picked it up, answered it, and it rang off. "It could have been anyone," Rashid said. Aunt Gloria shook her head. She picked up the phone and showed us its display panel. The name of the last caller was displayed. Salim. "He tried to call me. I called back, of course, right away, but nobody picked up. It was switched off again. Nobody. Oh, Salim, you called me and I wasn't there for you." The last 6 words came out in a wail that grew louder until the "you," and then she got stuck on the "oo" sound. "Oh," she cried, like a baby that's dropped its bottle. "Oh, Glor," Mum said. She took her by the elbow, and they went to stand out in the back garden. I saw Mum handing Aunt Gloria her packet of cigarettes and her lighter, which was very strange because my mother is a nurse, and nurses all know how smoking is hazardous for human health. Aunt Gloria would have been better off with a cup of tea, because in my book of first aid, it says a hot drink is good for you if you have had a shock. Rashid slumped at the kitchen table. He put his head in his hands and muttered something about calling in the press. Then he went out into the garden too. Kat looked at me. "Ted," she said, "this is getting serious." "Serious," I agreed. She got up from the table and walked around it 3 times until I felt dizzy. I could see she was thinking. When Kat thinks, she moves about a lot. But when I think, apart from putting my head to one side, I am still. I didn't like the way Kat was thinking. Her ponytail swung from one side to the other, and her lips were pressed up tight, and her mouth was moving, but no sound came out. Suddenly, she went into the living room. I followed her. She picked up the A to Z phone book from the shelf and flicked through it with her eyebrows pulled together. Then she turned a page over and nodded. She tore out the page and folded it. "Ted," she said, "I'm going out, this instant. But you're just going to have to lie again. Say I've gone round to Tiff's." Tiffany is Kat's best friend at school. "But you're not going to Tiffany's, are you?" I said. "No," she said. "Stop twitching your head like that. All you have to say if Mum asks is that I've popped over to Tiff's. Got it?" "Popped over to Tiff's. For the afternoon. For the afternoon. Don't drone it like that. Say it like you mean it, Ted." "But I don't mean it, Kat. It's not true." Kat slapped her forehead. "How did I end up with a brother like you? How? You're a hopeless case." "Where are you really going, Kat?" If I tell you, you'll tell the others. I won't, Cat. Not if they don't ask me. They will ask you. There's no time to lose. I've got to check this thing out myself. No, I said. No, Cat. She was in the hall putting on her jacket. No, I said. She ran upstairs to fetch her leopard skin backpack. I followed her. She stuffed the blown up photo of the strange man's blurry face into it, along with the phone book page, and ran downstairs again. No, I said, following. My hand shook itself out. No, Cat. I'll be back as soon as I can. Cat. She opened the front door. Cat. I grabbed the sleeve of her jacket. Take me with you, please. Get off, Ted, she said. She tried to slap my hand away. I grunted. I held on. Let go, Ted. She shoved me back hard through the front door. I'm sorry, Ted. You're really good at thinking, but you're no good at doing. If you come with me, you won't be any use. She slammed the door in my face. I saw her silhouette go down the path. I slumped to the hall carpet and felt a feeling like molten magma churned up in my belly. My foot banged up against the skirting board. My hand shook itself out. My brain went into a whirling vortex of bad feelings. Catastrophe, cataclysm, catalogue of disasters, Hurricane Katrina. Mean, mad, mean cat. Chapter 24. Bingo. I went upstairs before Mum and the others found me. I didn't want to have to explain anything. I didn't want to have to tell the Tiffany lie. But first I fetched the phone book. I wanted to find out which page Cat had torn out. You would think that this would be easy, but it wasn't. The Business and Services book for London has 989 pages. The pages are floppy and thin. When one page is missing, it doesn't automatically open on that page. You have to search page by page until you see a break in the page numbering at the top. I started at the beginning with businesses that are called things with number beginnings, like OO Finance. By page 6, you're on the A's. By page 75, you're on the B's. By Eye of the Needle Software Solutions, my own eyes were like needles and my fingers were black. The pages rubbed against my finger pads like cotton wool as I turned them. Sweat trickled down my neck. The cool breeze of morning had gone. The temperature was climbing. Downstairs, I heard the police arrive. I started on the F's. By family to fashion, I was beginning to wander about going the other way, starting on the Z's and working backwards. I'd seen Cat hunting through the book, and I'd had the impression she'd been looking nearer the stars. Then I remembered about mirrors. I picked up the book and rifled through it the way Cat had done, in front of the mirror on my wardrobe door. Mirror image, the other way round, back to front, depending on how you look at it. I remember Cat staring at me after I'd asked her why the letters in the photos appear the right way round and not back to front. Then I dropped the phone book. Front. My favourite weather word. Why hadn't I thought of it sooner? I skipped forward through fashion, felt, Fisher, flowers, fortune. Sure enough, page 333/334 was missing, as were all the entries between frocks galore and futon futura. The rest was easy. Online occur, frontline security. I said out loud what Dad says whenever he finishes the weekend crossword. Bingo. Okay, hope you're enjoying it. Hope you've been enjoying the good weather. You had a nice Easter. And I'll see you very soon. Bye.